Good morning, YouTubers. T Square with T Square Talk. Hope everybody's having a great weekend. It is Saturday morning. Got our Saturday morning Q&A that we're going to do today. So basically, every Friday we answer every comment from every Saturday. We answer all of the Friday comments on that video. So it gives people an opportunity to kind of ask questions and get actual answers specifically to the questions that they want answered. If the question is really, really good, then I may do a video, kind of like I did a video about the gold-silver ratio yesterday, because a lot of people have been talking about that, and someone had asked a question. It had a bunch of piggybacks, responses on it, and I said, you know what, we're going to do that as a video. So I did that, but on Saturday morning, every Friday question or comment gets read and talked about, and so that's what we're going to be doing today, our Friday questions, and we're going to answer them here on Saturday morning. And we finished off a crazy week yesterday. A lot of excitement going on right now. Silver is definitely on the climb. We got silver right now at $103, and it was pretty crazy because, I mean, look at the run up we had the other day. But here's what's even funnier. Only 2 days ago, on the 21st, which was essentially Wednesday. On Wednesday, silver was $91 on Wednesday. Now, just 2 days later, $103. Up $7 just yesterday. Now, I was super excited. I was looking at it yesterday. I was watching it most of the day. And then all of a sudden, I said, hey, the market closed. I said, what's going on? And I was like, I'm waiting. Why is the Chinese market not opening? What's going on? And then I realized it's Friday. And I was like, no. And now the dreaded weekend. Why is it a dreaded weekend? Because a lot of us are stacking, and we're super excited to see what's going to happen, because the show is going to keep going on. And we're seeing bigger and bigger gains. And you got to understand, we talked about how this was going to happen. We said here on the channel, as the price goes higher and higher, you're going to see bigger dollar gains. Maybe not necessarily in percentages, but 5% of $100 is $5, whereas 5% of $20 is only $1. And so we're seeing the bigger and bigger dollar gains. So right now, a lot of people are looking at silver saying, okay, next target is 200. Some people are saying 150. I think 150 is a better target to watch for. But here's the thing. As these numbers go higher and higher, those are just dollars at the end of the day. So there's no telling how high up silver can go. Now, I know there's going to be a lot of questions about people selling their silver right now. We're going to talk a little bit about that. If I don't have a question by the end of the video, if I remember, I will probably talk about it. Because, yes, there are some coin shops, from my understanding, that is not really buying anything. They're putting a hold on everything. However, there are people out there that are buying. But you got to understand, the refineries are scared right now. They're scared, so they're not buying as much. That not buying as much while they take a little bit of time to breathe and get caught up is understandable. It's them wanting to get rid of some of the inventory. They don't want to have inventory sitting around, because by the time they get to that inventory, silver could have fallen $10 in 2 days. It just so happens we went up in 2 days. But here's the thing. It could also keep going higher and higher. Right around the $100, $105 level, I would not be surprised to see it take a breather, do a little consolidation, maybe even pull back a little bit. We won't know because it went up and then we hit the weekend. But I would not be surprised to see that happen. So as I said, today we're going to be answering some questions. We'll kind of run through real quick. And actually, can I pull up gold? Okay, gold. Gold did not make it to 5,000 yet. A lot of people were watching gold. What would hit first? Gold at 5,000, or would we see silver at essentially the $100, which it did hit, and it took 100 out and then just blew it out of the water, because we are seeing silver continue to climb. Bitcoin right now still sitting just under $90,000. Up a little bit today, but not really doing much. Pretty much just sitting there. Assets based by market capitalization. Everything still pretty much right where it was the day before, except obviously silver making more ground to get further ahead of NVIDIA. And the DXY still pretty much where, well, actually, darn. Shoot, my bad. I thought it was at 98. Actually, 97.5. So actually pulling down a little bit lower. Is that the lowest we've seen? Real quick, let's just look here what that was right there. No, it was actually a little lower at the end of last year. So we actually were in the 96s. Might have even had a 95 at one point in there, but it's showing 96 right now. So we still got more room to go down. Excuse me. I get so tired this time of the night lately. I don't know if I'm just getting old or what. I did forget to take my medicine for diabetes. I actually checked my numbers today, and they were through the roof. I was like, what? One day of not taking it? And that sugar accumulates quick. National debt sitting right now at $38,646 billion. And with that being said, let's jump in and start taking some of these questions because I know already some of them I've read. Not all of them, but let's jump right in. So let's see. Reefer. Unfortunately, my closest local coin shop not only will not trade silver for gold, they're not even buying silver right now. Second closest coin shop is 3 hours drive, and they're not answering the phone or returning text messages. I would love to trade some gold. I would love to trade some silver for gold at these ratios. So here's what I said too. Remember, it gets harder to trade silver for gold when the ratio goes down. It's hard. I'll be honest. I ended up trading someone today a 1/10 ounce gold coin for 5 silver eagles. That's a 50-1. And when I looked at that and I held it in my hand, I was like, what? And I was like, man, what the heck happened? And the only reason I did it, I had a friend that he needed that 1/10 ounce gold coin, and it didn't matter to me. So I said, yeah, I'll trade it. What the heck? And so that's what I did. But yeah, a lot of people are not going to want to trade when it gets crazy price. Now, I don't think we're crazy yet. I still like silver better right now than gold. As we get down to 40-1, 30-1, it will be very difficult to find people that will have it. And that's where nice ounces are going to come into play. The 5 that I took today for that trade with a friend of mine, they were silver eagles. So they were nicer coins, essentially. So I was willing to do that. But I understand some people, they don't want to take that risk of silver all of a sudden plunging back down. I don't think we're anywhere near that point. But you do have to be mindful of that. Now, on the flip side of that, it also said they're not buying, not even answering the phone. Here's the thing. Texting, a lot of businesses, they have rotary phones. I guess maybe you don't want to call it rotary, but they don't have text lines. They have a phone you can call. It's not like a cell phone. I totally understand. Most businesses are not going to have texts going back and forth. Are there some? Yes, some of them will, but not all of them. So I probably don't think you'll be able to text them unless you've texted them before. Right now, there is still a good mix of people buying and selling, to my understanding. But I've got to say this. Some people are not buying. Excuse me. Some people are not buying for 103. In fact, some people are buying at 90 right now. Some people are buying at 96 right now. What is that? That is 5 and 10% back. I know some people don't like that, but there's a lot of stuff at play here. One, we just had a recent run up of, like I said, $10 in 2 days. That means if you can have a 10% climb in 2 days, a 7.5% climb just yesterday, that 7.3% could fall back down just as easy on Sunday night or Monday morning. So a lot of people are not going to take that risk today. In fact, that's why a lot of coin shops won't even buy stuff on Mondays, because they want the week to get going and then talk to us on Tuesday. So that's understandable what's going on. I think people need to be very careful anyway selling their stuff. But there are people out there selling. It's not crazy to think that you might have a little bit of a problem getting full 103 for it. Now, with that being said, though, too, remember, we had a big jump. Remember, silver's at an all-time high. The people that firmly believe in this, they hadn't stopped buying. They're still picking up stuff. The new amateurs, the people that have weak hands, the people that need money, they're the ones selling. There's not a ton of them left selling at 103, I got to say. Why? Because a lot of them sold at 50. A lot of them sold at 60, 70, 80, 90. And as the price continues to go up, there's less and less people selling. So that is the deal with that. Thank you so much for the great question. It definitely gives people something to think about. I would not want to sell anything until after the first week of next month. Some people might say, why? A lot of silver stackers get their pay on the 1st or the 1st and the 15th. Those people are probably still going to be buying, but some of them may be a little sticker struck right now. So who knows? We'll see how that plays out. And we'll talk more about that, I'm sure, in a future video. Tangled Up in Blue, how's it going, my buddy? I hope you're having a great night. Happy Friday. Now, the price of silver has increased so much. I understand some shops are either paying considerably under spot or have stopped buying altogether. I'm hoping this is temporary. If not, any tips on selling? I don't plan on selling anytime soon, but if I suddenly needed to sell, I'm concerned about how I would go about it. Like I said, it's kind of funny because that's almost in line with the previous comment. So yeah, the same thing applies. The only thing that wasn't in that previous comment was how can I go about selling? So there are places like We Buy Gold that are still buying, but they are paying anywhere from 5 to 10% under spot. And that is right now because refineries are paying a little lower until they get caught up. With the recent price, they can't be bankrolling thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of ounces just sitting there. Payouts have slowed from refineries. Refineries, when they were doing $15 back, some people weren't even sending them anything. They see this. They're a business, so they see what's going on. If they're not getting stuff sent to them, then they understand we are asking too much. $15 on 100, yeah, they're dialing it back. That's a lower payout. And on top of that, some people are complaining about this 10-day payment. So you don't get your money for 10 days when you send it in, which is kind of interesting. That kind of upsets some people. They don't want, essentially, the individuals that have silver to sell, they don't want to be funding a project. They want to hurry up, sell their silver, take that money and reinvest it. And that's kind of what we're seeing happening. Now, any tips on going about selling? Here's the thing. We had a whole video come out about a week and a half ago about selling, all the different ways that you can sell and how easy it is to sell and get a good price for your silver. With that being said, you can put stuff on eBay. Some people don't want to deal with that, but you're going to get the most money for an eBay sale. Why? Or not eBay, even Facebook. I recant the eBay thing. But you're going to get the most money just from person to person locally. Put something on Facebook. Hey, I got 10 ounces. I'm asking this much an ounce. Get one, get all. First come, first serve. That would probably be the way that I would go about selling if I had to sell some right now. It's quick, it's easy, it's a little time consuming. People are going to send you a message if they want one, and you just meet them publicly somewhere. They've got Facebook Marketplace and this and that. And here's the thing, depending on how many you got that you're trying to sell, I think you would have no trouble meeting someone at a public place. So, Joshua, how's it going today? Hope you're having a great night. T, I'm just going to buy more gold as the ratio lowers from here, or buy more silver if the ratio rises again. I don't think I'm going to swap much right now. If I do, it won't be until a 20-to-1 gold-silver ratio. It will be 11% of my stack. Maybe another 12.5% at 10-to-1. I could very well see a 1-to-1 gold-silver ratio happening. That's where I'd swap another 28% of my silver into gold. Then I'd be sitting on over 1,000 ounces of gold and 2,500 ounces of silver. What? Hold on a minute. No matter what happens from there, you're in a great spot. At a 1-to-1 gold-silver ratio, people will be kicking themselves in the butt that they traded at 40-to-1. Got to assess risk versus the reward. I'm happy with swapping no more than 50% of my silver in that case. Silver becomes more valuable than gold. I think we might have been lied to about how much gold there really is, and silver should be worth more than the gold considerably. How much more it's used in the industrial applications than gold. So yeah, that was kind of what yesterday's video was about, is that we have been, I believe, being lied to. They are draining the amount of silver that we have on hand, and now the truth is coming out and we're seeing it rise. 1-to-1, I'm still iffy on if we'll see a 1-to-1, but you're absolutely right. I mean, if we go to 1-to-1, anybody that traded at 51 is going to be really kicking themselves in the butt. I had someone ask me that yesterday, what's the deal with this trading? Why would anybody want to trade their silver for gold? You got to understand how it comes out of the ground, what the ratios is. If you didn't watch yesterday's video, it's definitely worth checking out. More people are talking about the trade things. Now, I understand it took me a little second to understand how you come up with 1,000 ounces of gold. If we ever go to a 1-to-1 ratio, you'd swap out 28%. So I'm guessing 28% of your stack comes out to about 1,000 ounces, which means you've got a pretty sizable, awesome stack, and you've done really well. You got in early. Now you're in the game. You don't want to make the mistake that a lot of people do, which is sell out too early. And we'll see how it goes from here. But great breakdown. I would agree with you. I'm not going to trade until I at least see 40. I know you're looking for lower numbers, but I think 40, getting rid of a small portion, may not be a bad deal. But who knows? We'll see what happens. And it depends what people will be buying at that time. That's what you got to understand. There's a possibility that if silver is in extremely high demand and it's going up faster and faster, there's a possibility that there will be people that will be willing to give up their gold to get silver because they are going to get greedy, essentially. I wouldn't want to. We're getting to the point where I wouldn't want to give up any gold for silver once we hit 40. Now, here's the thing to remember, though. Just yesterday, we ended up going from 51. We dropped 3.05 on the gold-silver ratio. And that was a 5.95% drop, essentially. So this is the gold-silver ratio and how it's been broke down. you can see it is going down. Excuse me. Considerably. 48 now to 1. So, you could make the argument that technically if I was to get rid of those same 5 silver eagles, I could get my 1/10 ounce of gold back and essentially maybe even get an extra, I don't know, half an ounce or something. So it's definitely something to consider. Actually, I'm sorry, a quarter of an ounce. But who knows? It's definitely something people have to understand and watch this and follow this. This is a major indicator for a lot of people that are looking at this. So great question, Joshua. Okay, let's see. Knife collector. Some people who like to talk say the gold-silver ratio will go 1 to 1. I am willing to trade to lower weight so that would defeat the purpose. I would like to actually make a 40 to 1 trade, which means the gold-silver ratio might need to be 35 to 1. 2 people in silver industry, mining, and National Mint have said gold-silver ratio will go down to 25 to 30 to 1. So first of all, if we ever go to 1 to 1, because I'll be honest, this is something I made a mistake on at one time. I was like, well, I don't know. Let's see, 10 ounces of gold. If we ever get down to this. So yeah, you can definitely lower your weight if you're trading for a 40 to 1. You're going to get rid of 40 ounces of silver. That's 2 tubes. You're going to consolidate it into 1 ounce of gold, which is 1 coin. With that being said, 25 to 1, 30 to 1, same thing. You're still getting rid of more weight. To get rid of 30 ounces of silver for 1 ounce of gold, people will be doing that. There will be some people, but they will get harder and harder to find. I think there will be a window, though, that you will probably be able to find people. But how many people have gold when you really think about it? A lot of people now are just trying to get whatever they can get in silver, and that's it. And most people are just buying it. And that's what's really creating the demand, I believe, is the increase in buying. And there are people out there buying. But, like I said, some are paying only $90 to $95. 1 to 1, I think, is extremely wishful, but that would definitely be nice. Can you imagine that? That'd be insane. Let's see. Save your brain. How's it going today? Hope you're having a great night. Let's see. I don't stack silver for gains. That's nice and all, but I stack silver because in a time of universe descent, stacking silver is a revolutionary act. Let me think exactly what you're saying here. Hold on. Give me a quick second. Let me move that up for a quick minute. In a time of universal descent, stacking silver is a revolutionary act. Okay, so I'm guessing what you're saying is in a time of universal descent. So like the changing order of superpowers, what's going on when countries start to collapse, dollars, currencies start to collapse. Having silver is a revolutionary act because people don't want to hold the dollars. And I would somewhat agree with that. Some of us, I'll be honest, I mean, I get a military retirement. I'm not trying to start a revolution here. I'm buying because I recognize that buying silver is holding my purchasing power. I would like my savings account to have some value down the road, which at this rate, I don't know if we will. So we'll see what happens. So that's why I like to stack silver. Definitely a great comment. It made me think a little on that one for a minute. Let's see. Victor, how's it going? 100. So someone put in the $100, which is pretty impressive. $100 when you think about it, even though now it's 103. JM, how's it going? Hope you're having a great night. Good morning, T. $100 silver finally hit. Absolutely. Definitely exciting right now what's going on, and we're seeing it happen real time. Okay, Randy. Morning, T. As I'm writing this, silver is $100.33. As the mining stocks, my IRA account is my day trading in mining stocks. I'm up 300% plus. Gold, just shy of $5,000. A great day for stackers. I'm waiting for a 40 to 1 before I even consider swapping some of my silver for gold. Yep, there's still a lot of people out there buying gold. If your attitude is you're waiting for 40 to 1, personally, I would not be buying gold right now. I would just be waiting. There's a lot of people out there that are looking to get gold. In fact, I might even be one of them. I would like to get some gold for some silver. Why? It will reduce my weight and essentially help me consolidate what's going on. So who knows? But I wouldn't get rid of everything, just some. Hey, T, historic morning. We hit $100 on Kitco. I was watching and waiting. Soon as I said $100, I went outside and lit the fireworks. Nice. For Saturday, question, could you go into trading metals outright for land or a house, even if it's just a down payment or something, as a lot of viewers probably don't have enough to sell for the whole property? I think people would like to hear an opinion on what you think about it now. Is it the time, or should people try to hold off a little longer? Or what is your honest opinion on the idea? And to the viewers, what do you think of the idea? Anyone doing it or wanting to do it? Have a great day. Nobody replied to it. So I think we're still a little early. Just my personal opinion. Nothing I say on here is financial advice. Personally, I think people will try to trade land for silver, land for gold. A lot of states are setting up essentially depositories where you can put silver or gold in your account, your depository account. Why would someone want to do that? Well, I mean, I think that type of stuff is safe to a certain point, but I do also worry about government overreach. But I think that, yeah, there will be people that will trade. I would love to trade some of my silver for a down payment on some land or something like that. But I don't know if I would want to do it right this minute. I would probably be tempted to wait until silver continues to go up. Next week is going to be a huge week. And a lot of people, I don't think, realize how big of a week next week will be. The fact that a lot of people are pushing in right now into silver, and we're seeing silver, a $7 day is huge. That could have been big money getting in front of next week's announcement. If next week they decide to announce some crazy Fed rate cut or some big announcement, you could end up seeing silver skyrocket a whole lot higher. But anything can happen. People got to understand that. I personally would want to wait before I traded metal for land. Just a little bit longer at least. I would like to see the ratio get down 40 to 1, maybe even 30 to 1 before I really entertain that. But it would have to be a nice piece of land. Now, some of these people are holding multiple homes, and they would love to get their hands on silver. Maybe they don't want to deal with the headaches of the home. Taxes are rapidly going up. Bills are rapidly going up. If I knew someone that had a nice house that I liked with a nice piece of land, and they said, hey, I'll take silver as a down payment, I would definitely be tempted to do that, though. I would have a hard time saying no on that. But anything can happen. We're still early. Next week is going to tell us a lot. If we start out Sunday night, the markets overseas open, and we see a $2-3 climb, and then all of a sudden U.S. markets open and we see another $2, $3, $4 climb. By the end of a 24-hour period, we're up another $5 to $7. Then that means we are going to start rapidly lighting it up. And if that happens, you guys are going to see $100 silver go by very quick. And before you know it, we're going to be in the 1-teens, the 120s, the 130s, the 140s. And predictions of end of the year are going to be totally out the window as the price just rapidly grows. People have to understand, this is going up this fast in one day because people know something. Somebody out there. This is not the average person that I see right now that has been stacking is unfortunately cashing some out. Average. The majority, a lot of us are still holding. Maybe you can say we're brainwashed. Maybe you can say we're just looking for the right opportunity. But I think, just look at Friday. If we have another repeat of Friday, we're now over 110. And the big question is, where's the top? 110, 120, 150, 200. A lot of people are already posting $200 comments, and we'll see how that plays out. It's definitely going to get interesting. Okay, next comment. What is up, unknown? Good morning. Hope you're having a great morning. Thank you so much. I know you're actually watching this on Saturday morning, so good morning. Hope you have a great weekend, my friend. Let's see, Tim. Central banks are way more invested in gold. Absolutely. A lot of central banks are way more invested in gold. There could come a time where they may try to shift that into silver. And at a certain point, a lot of these places may just offer up essentially some of their gold for silver once we see the numbers move a little bit more. I certainly wouldn't want to do it too much at 48 to 1. But if it really changes, who knows? Generally, pretty soon I'm going to start liking gold a little bit more. So we'll see how that plays. Good afternoon, tea, coffee, 1546 GMT time. Silver hit $100. That is awesome. Yeah, a lot of people are excited about that. I read that some of China's large solar companies are already using other metals other than silver because of the high prices. So this comment right here is interesting. Let me see who wrote this. Tim Diaz wrote this. Okay, this comment is interesting, and I'll tell you why. Because I almost replied back on accident to this comment right after you pulled it. You posted it, and I looked at my phone, and literally it was like 1 minute, and I was like, I want to reply. I started to reply, and then I said, I can't reply until after the video. So that's why I waited. Yes, I have heard that some companies are discussing switching, not already switched. As of right now, no other metal is as energy productive as silver on solar panels. They will, I believe, start looking for alternatives at some point. Right now, I think silver is the way to go, essentially. And people just got to kind of just wait it out, see what happens. But there will be some people that will rather have gold. Who knows? And I don't think that solar panels are going to be able to totally switch to another metal, just because everything points to nothing being as energy productive efficiency as that. You think about it. We haven't always used silver for solar panels. I'm convinced that they've tried other things and they just said we're not getting as much electricity from them. So my local coin shop uses Kitco price. That's the price that I use. When today I had a lot of people sending me, hey, look at the silver price, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 104 and change. No. Kitco is pretty on par with what the silver price is, so that's kind of the one that I like. Let's see, my local coin shop had very little gold. I was able to trade for only 1 ounce gold buffalo. He had. The person was next in line, was so disappointed when I took that buffalo. I wonder if that person was buying the buffalo or if he wanted to trade as well. And the reason shops are willing to do this is usually, like right now with the gold silver ratio at 48.25, if I had a shop, I would probably tell you, yeah, I'll trade, but you got to cough up 50 and a half ounces essentially. I would probably take that extra 2 ounces for dealing with it. Maybe. I think that would be pretty on par with what a lot of people would do. Some shops may do an even swap. I probably wouldn't do that if I had a shop, but I'd be curious if the guy behind you wanted to buy that buffalo or if he wanted to work a trade out too. And you can tell who's there to trade versus who's there to buy based off of if they've got stuff with them. So definitely something to think about. When silver hits $100, I'm popping the champagne. I'm sorry, my eyes are starting to glaze over because it's so late. When silver hits $100, I'm popping the champagne. Thank you for the great video. That was 14 hours ago, so it wasn't more than an hour. You were probably popping champagne at like 9 a.m. if you did that. I said I was going to pop champagne at $100 myself, and I didn't expect it to happen as fast as it did. I may end up going and getting a bottle of it this weekend and just pop it just to celebrate, but I don't really drink much, but it definitely would be worthwhile, I think, to treat yourself to something really special. Maybe a good meal this next week. If silver price stays up, because I got to be honest, I'm still tight. I'm still tight with my money. I like to eat the seafood lunch specials Monday through Friday and save some money. I get 3 1/2 pound items. I usually take crawfish, shrimp, and mussels, and you get 3 sides with that you get to pick and choose. That's $23. That will probably be my major treat next week, and it's exciting. It's exciting. We've done well. Stop tapping. My dog's sitting here beside me tapping the wall. Taking a look at the next one. I always sell my old phones, even broken, on eBay. Other people buy them for parts and to refurbish them. Then I buy a used phone on there to upgrade. It's good little business for people. Yes, I would never throw my phone away. I would probably rather just upgrade it. But I'm still using a older phone, although I have 2 phones. I have one phone that I keep on my desk. It's a cell phone. And then I have a second cell phone that I carry with me everywhere I go. So definitely food for thought. I understand that. I wouldn't be giving away my phones just to the trash bin. Let's see. Old cell phones have way more gold than new cell phones. I think they've switched to silver now in a lot of cell phones. I recycle any and every broken electronic. It sucks to take a lot of time since we're hanging above $95 an ounce. I cleaned out my silver stock pots, last 5 gallons, to be filtered today. Hopefully I'll get a good amount of copper out of it too. So I'm guessing when you say stock pots, for those of you that don't know, some people will take all their electronics apart. They'll pull out all the circuit boards and the little fittings. They'll throw it in some kind of a solution. I don't know exactly what the solution is. And it will basically eat the silver. And it will eat a lot of that metal off of that. And then when they strain it out with coffee strainers, to my understanding, then they take all that, dump it in a crucible, start heating it up, melt it, and then they get some little dot of silver or gold. So I've seen some videos on that, and I understand that a little bit. But yeah, definitely worth saving circuit boards. The only thing I do when it comes to recycling right now, when I'm driving around, if I see any appliances on the side of the road, I will actually get out, cut the cord. Sometimes I'll take the whole appliance. Sometimes I won't. If I take the appliance, if it doesn't work, I'm usually just going to cut the cord and throw the appliance away. But sometimes they'll just have a cord that gets damaged, an extension cord. How many of y'all have ever seen extension cords by the trash? And then you look at it, and it's basically someone accidentally cut it or something like that. Those things are awesome to pick up if you find them. Do you think silver will reach a point where silver is hardly available? Someone else said, we're there now. Laugh out loud. So, hardly available, I hate to say this, no. I know some people will say we're there now. It's not hard to find someone selling silver, at least where I'm at. I know a lot of people. I had someone wanted to sell some to me yesterday, and I had to say no to that person. And I had someone else who I'm friends with said he wanted to sell a little bit. And I said, for how little you're trying to sell, I'll definitely help you out with that. Because it was just a little bit. I was like, I'll give him the money and just, put it on my stack for now. Or I'll find someone that wants it and I'll pass it off to that person and they can buy it. John saying, good video. Thank you so much. Let's see here. Scroll down now again. Silver Solutions, LLC. Good morning, T. No matter what they do to the supply, the supply is inelastic and cannot compensate for the current demand across all factors. We are going to keep climbing in the gold-silver ratio. Is going to keep dropping. Fingers crossed we get back to 20 range. So, yeah, that's about how I feel about it. And that's why if I pick up something, I do still, if I could find a deal on stuff. But like I said, people have to understand. Right now, 93 to 98 is probably what you're going to get on your silver, somewhere in that range. Some people don't understand that buying something at under spot can happen. Someone might say, you said you don't have to take under spot. What I said, and I want people to understand this, is if you're willing to put the time in and post it on Facebook, I am convinced you can easily get spot. But I talked to one person yesterday, and they said they're not dealing with all that. If they sell, they just want to be done with it. And if that's the case, to get rid of headaches, if you want to get rid of your headaches by trying to sell it yourself, you are probably going to take a little bit of a hit. But if you want to take on those headaches and try to sell it by yourself, you're probably going to get a little more money for your stuff. So let's see here. Why would you want other people investing in the same item you do? Because that rises the price of what you invest in. That's why. And I would agree with that. Yesterday I'd made the comment that, some people will ask that. They don't want. Why? You guys know I've talked a lot of people into silver, not intentionally per se, but I explain what's going on. I give them my opinion. And usually if people are really willing to put some thought into it, they generally will agree with a lot of this stuff. Problem is retail investing is almost no impact on the silver price. Personally, I don't believe in that, and I'll tell you why. What we're seeing is mostly the COMEX levels. So here's why. You have to realize there is a huge amount of silver making its way to the refineries right now. Them refineries are melting a lot of that silver down into kilo bars or 1,000-ounce bars, and they are making that to where they deliver it to the COMEX. As the COMEX slows down, COMEX is not getting as much silver because, one, some of that stuff is getting bypassed and going to different places. More individuals are putting money into silver, even at these prices. And everything is a little bit here, a little bit there type attitude that we're seeing the price really start to ramp up. So if people all of a sudden stop selling their silver, you might say, well, that doesn't really have any impact on the price. But all of a sudden there's less silver out there, and that's it. But there will be a lot of people that are selling. That's just part of the game. And you play the game and you keep rolling with it. And I think eventually it's going to pay off big time for a lot of us. I think it already has for most of us. But there are people that got in at $80, maybe $90. They're new to it. We'll see. Excuse me, how it plays out. I apologize for yawning. Like I said, I didn't take my medicine today. When I checked my numbers, I felt tired. So I was like, man, why is it so early? It's not even midnight and I'm already tired. Next comment. Pete, how's it going today? Hope you're having a great day. Good morning. Looks like silver will break 100 today. Wow. Yeah, silver did break it. In fact, it broke it hardcore. Went up $7 up to 103. So definitely pretty cool there. Good luck finding gold when gold-silver ratio drops. And then someone else said, should be interesting to see what happens. Yeah. There's no way I would say to someone, oh, yeah, I'll give you an ounce of gold for 20 silver eagles or for 20 ounces of silver. But everybody is in this mindset that they will be able to do it and the opportunity is there. There will be some people that are going to see the big gains and they're going to look at it and they're going to be like, dude, I could have bought in silver last year or traded my gold for silver last year and silver did 144%. This year it's already up, what, $30? I don't even know what percent that is yet. It's climbing. And instead I bought some gold. That they're going to want to trade that gold out for silver. And the numbers are going to be a lot lower. And see what happens. So it will definitely be interesting. It will be hard to find people with gold. But there will be some people, like I said, that have gold and they're going to get greedy. And they're going to go to coin shops and want to essentially trade it. And if the gold-silver ratio is 20-1, that coin shop might tell you, yeah, you can do it, but I want 21 ounces or 22 ounces at that rate. So who knows? We'll see. And the reason they would want to do that is because a coin shop is naturally going to have a harder time selling a $6,000-$7,000 item or whatever gold is at that point in time, than it will selling 20 individual silver ounces. Because there are people that aren't even questioning $100. They're just buying it. Silver is currently at 99.61. Close that out real quick for right now. Silver is at 99.61. What the heck? I don't know why that's popping up right now. So, yeah. I think, well, 99.61, that was early. That was 15 hours ago at the time of putting this up. So that was early this morning. So we're at 103 now. Let's see, 44 minutes and 36 seconds. Do you think you stayed on that carrot ad too long? Oh, I don't know. I'll have to look what that was. I don't know what the carrot ad was. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I started dozing off. Some nights like this, I want to just doze off. I almost didn't even put up a video this morning. I almost left you guys with like a 5-minute just because I was already feeling drowsy. But I'm starting to get that second wind. And I'll be honest, I'm trying not to drink caffeine anymore. So you guys know I love Diet Cokes. I always have Diet Cokes. But I'm trying not to drink Diet Coke anymore after 5 o'clock. Yeah, some people say, do you know any thin people that drink Diet Coke? That kind of made me a little nervous. I was like, I don't know anybody thin that drinks Diet Coke. No. And there's a reason why, maybe. In fact, everybody that drinks Diet Coke, they're usually heavy set, including myself. But where am I going with that? That no caffeine later at night helps me sleep a little better. It kind of starts slowing me down, and no heavy meals help me sleep better. I didn't eat anything tonight after 7 o'clock. I ate my dinner tonight really early because I ended up getting a brisket cooked for me by somebody. And so, needless to say, I had that, and I had it at like 6 or 7. And so now I'm tired. I may have a bag of popcorn a little bit, but I may just say I'm going to go to bed after the video. Who knows? Let's see here. If silver got to 1-to-1, why would you switch gold at all? Wouldn't they pretty much be the same value? You'd switch at the ratio if you thought the ratio would bounce back. So here's why. There's going to be some people that are sitting mostly on silver. And I'll be honest, I have more silver than gold. If the ratio went 1-to-1, I would probably try to switch. If I had the opportunity to, I would probably try to switch half my stack to gold and have half my stack on silver. That way I'm diverse. If the price did plunge on either metal, I've got a fair amount of both, and it would secure me for the long haul. But theoretically, you are right. If the price is the same, 1-to-1, then it really doesn't matter at that point in time. But understanding the price could swing one way or the other. And if silver is 1-to-1, that means silver did really good and had some big gains. Let's see, walks with one. I'm getting an acre to see this triple-digit number. Waiting to see the reaction of people, and I'm sure everybody is kicking themselves for not buying more when the price was a lot lower. We are all wanting for this. We're all wanting for this big time. We're all wanting for this big pullback that never showed up. We're all waiting for the big pullback that never showed up. Okay. We seen a big pullback though. We seen at $82, silver went down to 69. You had people had opportunities to pick it up at 70. Was it a big pullback? I don't know. That's an opinion. 82 to 69, I would say that's a pretty good pullback. Let's pull up the chart real quick and just look real quick over the last, we're going to say 3 months. We've seen, this was the big one, $84, and we went all the way down to 69. So it was 84 to 69. That's a pretty nice pullback. We bounced up to 82 and change again, and then we came all the way down to 73. That was a pretty big pullback. As we climbed, some people will say this was a good pullback, $93, $94, coming all the way down to 86. That's a $7 or $8 pullback. That's still pretty good. We've seen it go back up, then we've seen it come down, not quite as low, but a little bit, and then we've seen it go up and push forward. Got as high as 96, and then we had a pullback to 90. That's a $6 drop. That's a pretty nice pullback too. I mean, are these pullbacks huge? And then after, when it hit 90, it just got bought up, and that's what we saw yesterday, that really big run up yesterday. Defining pullback is going to be different for a lot of people. My opinion of a pullback, 5 or 10%. Could we see $90 silver again? As of right this minute, $90 silver is still possible. Giving up the last couple days' gains is doable. But what people have to understand is, you see this big jump right here? That's some pretty straight up jump. And that worries me just a little bit. But if this jump continues on Sunday night, Monday morning, then a pullback is not going to be anywhere where you could have gotten it before. The people that are just sitting on the sidelines with no silver and they're waiting for a pullback, I think they're making a mistake personally. So, okay, let's see here. I'm not sure. One thing I wasn't sure what you meant by that is I'm getting an acre to see this triple, unless that's just a term. you're ready to see triple digit silver. A lot of people are. Here's the thing, that triple digit silver, and then all of a sudden it started erupting. So it's definitely exciting. I hear a lot of silver is a byproduct of different metals mining. Why is this matter? If you get silver while mining copper, why aren't they just a silver mine since they get silver? What is the significance is making the claim that silver is a byproduct? Okay, so yes, silver is a byproduct of other mining. That's why, one, there are no major silver mines. You find small amounts of silver when you find copper mines, when you find iron mines. Usually silver is filtered in there due to the chemical breakdown of the way stuff is formed in the Earth's crust or whatever. However, how do we know this, and how is this important is the thing you got to understand. The reason we know this is when we had cough, and all of a sudden businesses slowed and people weren't mining copper. They didn't need the copper. They weren't producing anything. We've seen a lot of stuff slow down. We've seen the silver production also plunge. So that's how we know what's going on. Silver is a heavy industrial metal also, so obviously if industrial slows down, then it does slow down the pace at which silver will go up. But people view silver as a monetary metal too. So because of that, you can see silver continue to climb, but you see it climb more rapidly when times are good and they need to produce stuff. There's not many pure silver mines out there. As a byproduct, it means the majority of what the mine produces is not silver. The Comstock lode, that was a solely, to my understanding, silver mine. There's not many of them today. And there's nothing producing anything near what the Comstock lode was in the, I don't know what year it was, but that was producing. Why aren't there just silver mines? Yeah, they just can't find high concentrations of silver to make it as profitable. But as the price goes up, they may start looking even more. But a byproduct is still pretty good too. It's not easy to acquire if it's a byproduct. And there you go. It's not. That's why it's important. I don't think I answered that part of it. Why are they making that claim? Because if you have to mine silver, if you have to mine copper to get silver, it's not that easy. You get very little silver out of the ground when they're selling a lot of copper that they're mining. So definitely something to realize. Good talk, T-Square. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Awesome video as always. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Good morning, T. Oh no, I don't want to miss this part. What's this? Good morning, T. Coinbase crypto market now offers customers direct investments across into the futures markets like silver. How much of an impact, so you think, connecting crypto wallets to the commodity market has on the price movement? So I didn't know that you could buy silver futures in Coinbase. I may look that up because I have a Coinbase account. I haven't been on it in a long time, but I may check that out. That's going to be interesting because there may be a lot of people out there, I'm going to say dumb money, people that just don't really understand what's going on, that may buy huge amounts of short positions in silver. By huge amounts, I don't mean they're going to be able to compete with TD Bank North or JP Morgan or Bank of America or any of that. I think that dumb money could end up trying to short silver, thinking, oh, we just hit $100, let's try to short it and hopefully make some more money. Would I invest in a futures market? I mean, there's an advantage to having even paper silver. It's not the same advantage as physical silver, but it's nice in a way because it's easy to cash out, I guess you can say, if you have paper silver. I mean, you can push a button and all of a sudden your paper silver is sold instantly. And you just got your money. Now, that's paper. So I would think the taxes would be different on that. It's not physical. And therefore, you essentially have opportunity to make paper money playing this game. And I mean, let's be honest. I think silver personally is going to keep going up. This is my personal opinion. So, yeah. And unfortunately, the world runs on paper. I mean, most people accept paper for the stuff they want. You're never going to see me get on here and just totally trash paper. I won't do that. I understand people want it, but I also understand that the more they print, the less it's worth. The longer you have paper, the less value it has. So, let's see. Also, it's because a ape is a silverback gorilla. That's why they use the apes. Oh, yeah. Oh, I should have said that. You're absolutely right. I said that the other night. I said, we were discussing, someone had said something on why Reddit uses a lot of apes. As you can see, if you scroll down through here, that's not a good. See the ape in the background? Ape. See how they got apes here? Big ape here at 103. As you scroll through, big ape there in the background. I said the reason was you got the bull run of 2021 and then the bull run of 2026. They actually have a silverback gorilla. Yeah, so that's absolutely right. I said that yesterday. They chose monkey because those of us that are investing in precious metals were already called apes and monkeys. We're basically Neanderthals. We're idiots for buying silver. Now we're rich monkeys. But yes, a silverback gorilla is also the reason they use that. So it's pretty cool. Let's see. Mom for Minecraft. How's it going today? Hope you're having a great day. Good morning. Thank you so much for commenting. Morning T. Have a great day and keep buying silver. I can't stop. I buy all I can. I've had to slow down because it's getting expensive now. I don't have the money to buy right now. Remember, I ended up putting a lot on my credit card to pick up some extra ounces when it was cheap. So I've had to slow down on buying for the time being, but it doesn't mean I won't buy anymore. Let's see here. The real gear up survivor. Thank you for this topic. The gold-silver ratio is often covered, but this was very informative. My question is, as a newer stacker or someone with a stack under 100 ounces, should we even be concerned about the gold-silver ratio? Would you trade all your silver for a single ounce of gold, or just hold silver? Me personally believing diversification in both, and turning as much silver into gold as I see gold being the end game. Thank you very much. No, I don't see gold as the end game. So here's the thing, though. You were right in the first thing you said. If you're a stacker, a new stacker, and you don't have a ton of ounces, you're sitting on less than 100 ounces of silver, I wouldn't even be looking at the gold-silver ratio. It's not that important to you, in my personal opinion. The gold-silver ratio is very important, though, to people that are sitting on a large amount of silver. There are some people that are sitting on over 1,000 ounces of silver. I've seen people that have sit on even more than that. Now, here's the thing. The price climbs and it continues climbing. Let's say the price hits $200 and the gold-silver ratio is 20 to 1 at that point. someone may be wise, possibly, to divert some of that silver into gold. Why? Eventually, this could drop in price. I know people don't want to hear that. People don't think the price can come down on silver, but it's possible. We've seen it happen time and time again where it gets so high. The question is, what is so high? A lot of people sold their silver or converting it because they thought 50 to 1. Well, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say 50 to 1. 80 to 1 roughly. When we were at $50 silver, they thought $50 silver was the top, and now it has to come down. So there was a lot of people that converted because they were scared. They didn't want to get hit by it coming down, and all of a sudden you had an opportunity to trade 20 ounces of silver for 1 ounce of gold, but you didn't. Space does become also a problem for a lot of these people that have huge amounts of silver. It's a problem I wish I had. I don't anywhere near have that much like some people. I seen some stuff here. I'm going to show you this real quick. Let's see if we can find it. Where is it? I looked at it earlier. Right there. Let's look at this picture right here someone posted. Each one of these bars on the top shelf are 32 ounces of silver. That's not even counting the little 1 ounce bars tucked in the corner over here. But you're talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You're talking 10 here. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I would say you've got 20 kilos right here. 20 kilos of silver. I got to pull up my calculator real quick. Even though I should be able to do it. I think it's going to be like 620 or something. 620. Let's see here. 32.15 times 20. It's 640. So that's 640 right there. Those look like kilos too. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So that's 20 ounces right here in this one row. That would lead me to believe there's probably more because I can see right here there's more. So now if he's got 20 and 20, that's essentially, well, this was 20 up here for 640. That would be now times that by 3. And remember, I'm just kind of guessing. That puts him now on this shelf and this shelf at roughly 2,000 ounces. These look a little smaller, though, however. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can see the gap in them here where there is no gap there. Same thing here. You can see the gap and the gap. I'd probably say those are not kilo bars, though. Those are probably tens. But there's a lot. So you got to understand, we're at 2,000 just here. Down here, that's 4 monster boxes right there. And there's probably 4 more behind it. Or maybe he pulled them out just for looks, but I think he's got a lot. So there's a lot of ounces there. He's at least got 6,000 ounces right here. I mean, that's 1,000 in 2 blue boxes, another 1,000 there. Probably he's got another 2,000 in the back of the shelf because of the thickness of this shelf. I mean, that's 4,000 ounces just on that blue one. So plus, let's just say 4,000 ounces. Looks like even more on the bottom, but I can't really make out what that is. That could be pew-pews. But I don't know. I'm kind of curious what that is on the bottom. So who knows? And we didn't count this shelf because I can't tell if those are kilos or tens. I think they're probably tens. This guy's got a lot of silver. He definitely, could make some room there by taking essentially some gold, you know. Let's see. So that answers that question. Let's see. Morning, T. Do you think industrial demand lessens as silver continues to skyrocket? And companies seek cheaper alternatives. I read that one of the biggest producers of solar panels, there again, everybody's bringing this up. I've heard this already a couple times. I think we answered this one. Solar panels has already switched to a cheaper base metal. However, I don't know if this is even an option for a lot of the other uses like cell phones. So let's just take that for a quick minute at face value and discuss this. I'm going to discuss it a little differently here. I'm gonna take a big chance. I'm just gonna ask Google real quick. Is silver the most energy efficient metal to use for solar panels, or are there other metals that are as efficient? Silver is currently the top choice for solar panel contacts due to the unmatched electrical conductivity and reflective, making panels highly efficient. If you're going to spend the money on a huge solar array to try to make, I don't know if I should say smart towns. I know that's not the proper word, but I'm specifically staying away from certain words, just so my video doesn't get knocked. I'm not convinced that there is. While silver often is the best efficient, copper provides a sustainable, affordable path for mass solar panel production. If I'm going to spend the kind of money that this takes, I want the most energy efficient way of doing it. Therefore, I'm not taking anything other than silver. Do you think companies are going to cheap out if they're spending that kind of money already? Can you imagine you do that and you're just not getting the output? Now you have to double the amount of solar panels. And here's the thing. Some of these places that are putting solar panels, yeah, they've got acres and acres to put it. But some places only have the rooftop. They're limited on space. They can't make a solar array down the street or in the backyard. They've got a limited space. If you have a limited space, would you spend a little bit more money to put it on your roof, or would you cheap out and need 20 times or a couple times the panels to get the same amount of energy? Yes, I think they can start using copper, but then you're not going to have the same amount of output, which means you're going to need more panels. If I've got to buy 3 panels for the same price as one, I might as well just buy the one and pay the more. So there's also the possibility that this is all a story that was fabricated by someone in mainstream media to convince people that, oh my word, silver is going to be so plentiful now because solar companies are the #1 buyer and they're not buying. Just like, oh my word, they're going to start mining silver and gold in space and the price of it's going to plunge. Oh my word, there's a plant that spores gold now. Oh my word, what is that circle that produces the time? What do they call it? Give me a quick second. What do they call that big circle tunnel overseas, that something glider or whatever that could rip a hole in time? I'll get the answer out of all that. Large Hadron Collider. CERN. There it is. Located at CERN. CERN. So the CERN facility. It was a big story that, this CERN facility that costs millions of dollars, billions of dollars, they found gold in it. The thing was spinning so fast. Let's see if we can find a picture of it for you. This is pictures, but I kind of wanted to show you an overlay, like an overview. There's not a whole lot of pictures of it. You know what? Maybe I could have typed it in a little differently. Just said CERN now. How do they spell that? CERN. Let's just type that real quick. Boom. CERN. CERN. Let's type CERN, and now you start to see what's going on here. This is the CERN. This is a good blueprint right here of it. Basically, they're spinning atoms so quick, and then they can inject stuff in that's spinning the other way. And as those atoms hit other atoms, yes, they found a couple flakes of gold. Now, let's pull up the actual makes gold. Let's see if we can find the exact article. Let's see here. Images, news. Where's news? Boom. Scientists took part in an experiment that created gold in the super collider. As you read through this article and you see, we're talking 1,000th ounce. 1,000th gram of gold. It was so little, they're not going to fire this thing up every time to make a lousy $200 in gold, and that's being generous. I wanted to see exactly if it said the exact amount of gold, because it did in the original write-up. I'm just kind of reading real quick. Nuclear byproduct, and I don't even see the word gold in it. Okay. Each protein removed charges elements. One gives thymine, 2 mercury, and 3 gives gold. I might have to say, kilometers, Europe, China. I'm trying to see the exact amount of gold. It was so low, but people took that story and, they're just going to start making gold now. I'm not convinced. They're worried about silver. There is a huge amount of silver. If anybody wants, they can look into this. I don't want to spend too much time trying to find it. But it's a small amount of gold. It's so small that it's negligent, in my opinion. So, yeah, I think the whole story of switching solar panels to silver to another metal, I think is ridiculous in my mind. Do I think stuff will slow down? Yes. The gold price can't go on forever. But I still don't think at $100 we're at the point where they're going to stop using it. Let's see. Morning, $99.01 at 6:15. This morning, I am down to a 3-ounce budget. So my stack isn't going to meet my goal. But I will keep stacking. Here's the thing. Don't say that yet. Don't be surprised if we see silver drop to in the 90s again. That, I believe, is possible, but I wouldn't wait for that. If you have opportunities, I would still pick it, but that's it. We're going to know more next week. We're going to know more on this whole thing next week. Let's see. Around my area, we are just getting prepared for the upcoming ice storm and snow. Let's see. It's going to be 85 Fahrenheit on Sunday, Palm Beach County, Florida. Silver Girl, I'm going to Florida. I'm heading to Palm Beach tomorrow morning. Because it's going to be cold here. I'm not really going to go to Florida tomorrow, but it does sound fun. I would definitely go. I would love to go there. I like Florida. I actually like Kissimmee and Daytona area. Key West I like. I don't know how close any of that is to Palm Beach. I've actually stayed in all those places. And Panama City, Florida. And whatever that base is, I can't remember where the base was, the big base on the Panhandle. But yeah, a lot of places are getting ready for cold weather. I know we are going to have some really cold weather in Texas here in my area on Sunday night. Some people are worrying. Grocery stores had nothing. In fact, I was going to put a short video up tonight, but I may put that up tomorrow. still, because I took some videos at the grocery store and I was like, what the heck? They didn't have nothing. So that was pretty crazy. Let's see. Market cap is 7-to-1 ratio. Physical, probably 2 billion ounces of silver out there times $100. That's 200 billion in the real market cap for silver. Fake paper silver is 5 trillion. Physical will go up. So let me think here for a minute. Yep, I agree with physical will go up. Fake paper silver is 5 trillion. So you're basically looking at this right here. Right now it says we are at 5.8 trillion, and a lot of people don't realize that this paper has a lot to do with it. They look at the paper price and they're taking the paper and they're multiplying it by 103. But little by little, I think a lot of paper contracts are going to get destroyed. What do I mean by that? There are companies that have been shorting silver, and as they start dumping those short positions, you see stuff even out a little bit more, and then you find out exactly how much silver there actually is. The same thing with fractional reserve banking. We think there's a lot more money in the system because if I loan you $10 and I put that $10 on my book, and then you loan someone $10 and you put that $10 on your book, and they loan someone $10 and they put that $10 on your book, there's only $10 in the system. However, on everybody's books, it looks like there's a lot more money. And that's kind of how silver is happening with the paper markets right now. I don't think there's nearly as much silver as they say. But until that is proven, and as that starts to get proven, you will start to see the silver price go up, in my personal opinion, not financial advice. Mr. Happy Stacker 69, hope you're having a great day. Love the video today, bro. Keep it up. Thank you so much. Every time I see your comments, it always makes me smile, only because it doesn't seem like too long ago where you inherited a bunch of silver and didn't really believe in it. And now you believe in it, and you're definitely seeing the gains of it. So I always smile when I see your comment. Let's see. Little congratulations. Don't be fooled. We got the little emoji there for congratulations. It's definitely exciting. What's going on? I'm just looking. Okay, we are almost at the end. We got a couple more comments. This one's going to be a long one, I think. Okay, it's not that long. Okay, let's see here. 30 cents to TDS in overnight. Let's go. Almost hit 5K in gold markets. Only problem is with the buyback rate being $15 or $20 back of spot on silver. Hold on, now that's changing. I'll talk about that. That's a good point. On silver, the real sell price right now is in the 80s to 85s. As for buying the price is hovering at $4 or $5 over. The spread is now close to 25%. Does it even matter to the market that they are being ripped off? I wish someone would default already and we get a true price discovery. So you're absolutely right. It can get frustrating. But they were offering $15 to $20 back like a week ago, at the beginning of the week, on like Monday, maybe even Tuesday. When they stopped getting silver in, everybody that I know right now that takes silver and sends it into the refineries for melt is not sending it in right now. They will either not buy it, or they will hold it, or they will just buy it and try to sell it to another person at under spot. And that is why I had an offer to pick up some bars yesterday at $90 a bar, and I turned that down. Why did I turn that down? Well, technically, the spot at the time of me turning it down was 98, 97, 98. And I know that was $8 under spot. However, at the end of the day, when silver had climbed to 103, they sent some people, I guess, out an email, and they have since upped their buyback price a little bit. Why? It doesn't take more than a couple days for refineries to not get anything to know that they're basically cheating people. They're trying to get too much for too little. People won't send. Are they still buying sterling? No, they're not right now. And I can tell you some dealers are not buying sterling because they're not going to sit on it and wait. Fourth, even if it's a nice silver set that's $5,000 worth of silver, they're not going to offer up $4,000 on it just to hold it. They're not going to tie that much money in it, because the longer they hold it and the price goes down, and it can come down, they could get stuck holding it for even longer. And some people remember when silver hit 50 and then one day it dropped to $35. Those people are naturally going to be a little gun shy, in my personal opinion. So we'll see what happens and how that. Do I think that's going to happen again? Nope, not right now. Do I think someday we will see a big pullback in one day? Well, let's just look at what that big pullback was for a quick minute. That big pullback at $50 to $35 would essentially be an equivalent of $100 silver dropping down to $70. How many people would feel like $70 silver is the end of the world? I wouldn't feel that way at all. I mean, do I want to see it go to 70? Absolutely not. I need to slow down on buying anyway, because I've been buying too much, and now it helps me slow down a little bit that the price is so high. But, that spread is closing, that gap. So we'll see what happens. I won't say that it's 25% anymore. I would say it's closer to, you're talking the spread. So if you're selling, you could end up selling for as much as 10% under spot. And if you're buying, you're probably going to buy, in some cases, 5% over spot. So, yeah, that is still a 15% spread. But it doesn't bother me because I'm not in it for the short run. If I buy something today, I'm not selling until down the road. So that's my thoughts on that. Let's see. Good morning, T. We are hitting a century mark very soon. Thanks for being glued and keeping us together and strong. Thank you so much. I appreciate you saying that, Dave. Yeah, it's exciting. And sometimes people need to hear that positive reinforcement about where other people think silver's going, because people do get scared. Just like people might be getting a little scared right now on the silver because solar panels they're going to start making them out of different metals. It's understandable, but I don't think it's true. Excuse me. But I don't think it's true. I think it's just a story to try to scare people to get rid of their silver position. Anything they can say right now to scare people out of silver, it's going to get crazy. Next week, when they have the Fed meeting, that's going to get really exciting, too. Let's see. We passed the century mark about 2 a.m. in the UK. UK time on 123. Silver went to 101. That is 73 euro. It didn't hang around that price, but it did get there. It's almost likely going beyond $100 today. We did. We went up to 103. Friday is always interesting. Yep. Let's see. I'm thinking about it. Thank you so much, Zipper. I appreciate that. Let's see here. And Dave, thank you for that comment. And Alan, thank you for that great comment. Let's see here. Okay. Alan, that first one I said comment when I had read that, but that was actually a reply to a comment. Let's see. Alan, 333. Good morning, T. Silver right now is $99.57 on here in the UK. $73.25. Today should be interesting as gold looks like it will go to 5 grand. Hang on tight. Yeah, 5 grand is not very far away right now. 5 grand is only $17. I think we will see 5 grand on Monday. Could we see a pullback? We could see a little bit of a pullback, but I'm not at all worried about it. Any kind of pullback is just going to cause people to buy that up, and that will be it. So who knows? We'll see what happens and how that plays out. Let's see. We talked about Bitcoin already. Let's refresh that and just look one more time. Oh, shoot. Bitcoin down to 89,600 essentially. Boom. Let's close this out. And we're going to wrap up here, but I was just kind of scrolling through, see if there was anything new. A lot of people posting 100, 103. We took out 50. We took out 100. And now silver is knocking on $200 door. We'll see what happens next week. Next week is going to be exciting. If we have a big couple days, 5-7% interest, I mean, you got to understand, 7% interest is $7, and actually it's a little bit more. It's not going to take long before we break over the whole $100 mark. Well, before we break, I shouldn't say over the $100 mark. It's not going to be long before we break up even higher if we get decent gains, because we are at 103 now. I was looking at 2, but we're not. 2 is probably going to take a little while. I'm not expecting 2 anytime soon, but everybody wants to pump up people. Just kind of scrolling. Oh, I got a kick out of this one right here. The U.S. dollar plunges to 1/100th ounce of silver because it takes 100 of them to get you an ounce of silver now. AG, $100. Bankers, sell now. Take some profits, please. Silver stackers, not happening. Stack even harder. Eventually a number will come, but I know some of y'all thought that my predictions, not some of y'all, one of you, when I did my car video where someone had asked me about buying a car. Let's see if I can find that one real quick. Right here, episode 11, silver for a new car. Somebody's like, dude, you're assuming silver's going to go up by 25% this year. That's ridiculous. You don't know that's going to happen. I mean, think about it. We started the year at essentially $72. We're now at $103. I don't know the future, but I don't think that was that crazy of a prediction. In fact, with silver now at 103, it takes even less ounces to make that car payment. When we did the math, it took you 6 ounces of silver to make that $500 a month car payment. Now it only takes you 5 ounces of silver to make and I assumed when I did my math, 5 ounces of silver at the end of the year. We're still in the first month, and you can make a $500 payment with 5 ounces of silver. It's crazy that we were that low only a week and a half ago, and we just keep slowly inching up. We already looked at the silver price. We already looked at the gold price. We looked at the Bitcoin price. Boom, boom. And with that being said, the dollar at 97.5. So I'm actually going to wrap up here. I will put a couple links, hyperlinks, so you can click on one of these videos and watch that. I will put the 3 videos that I think are worth watching right here at the end of the screen, so you can click on any one of these hyperlinks and check out that video. If you're new to the channel and you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button. And with that being said, I will see y'all tomorrow. I am exhausted. Hour and a half. I'm ready to get some sleep. Take care, everybody. Have a great one, and I will see y'all tomorrow. And I will have another great video for you guys on Sunday, most likely. So probably do my video on Sunday again. I know a lot of people like the Sunday videos, even if it's only a handful of you. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great weekend. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.